These are some phrases and words you should definitely never use when making a sale. In the world of sales, the words you use are extremely important, as they could be the difference between closing a deal or failing miserably. So don't use these words when you're in front of a buyer. Let's get started. The first phrase you should avoid is, "to be honest with you." Have you ever heard that from a salesperson before? Things like, "to be honest with you, this is the best price we could give you," or "to be honest with you, we never give this offer to anyone else," actually send very negative signals to your customer. What happens right after a "to be honest with you" is that it makes the buyer see that the entire conversation you've had up to this point is a lie. It's a phrase that puts the person on the defensive who will think things like, "Have you been lying to me this whole time? What's true about everything you've told me?" Something you don't want to happen because you probably won't close the sale. 2. Trust me. At first glance, when you say this, it seems like a great deal. But usually, when people have to say things like, "trust me," or ask, "do you trust them?" it's because generally that person doesn't inspire confidence in their words or actions. So, if you say this, the buyer may associate you with someone who is untrustworthy. And believe me, you won't close that sale. So if you want someone to trust you, and if you are trustworthy, you must demonstrate it with clear and concise actions, having verifiable evidence that your words are 100% real. Also try to speak calmly and always looking at the face that inspires confidence and commitment. 3. I'm sorry to bother you. When someone says a phrase like this, I usually think, why the hell are you bothering me? If you feel so bad about it, then just don't bother me in the first place. Before you do anything when it comes to closing a sale, the prospect usually has the power, and the seller doesn't. That's why it's a sale. So to be more effective as a closer, you need to level the status. And the moment you apologize, before you say anything, before you propose anything, before you give them solutions, before you find out if you could help them, you see how that immediately puts you in a lower status. You never want to do that. So don't use, "I'm sorry to bother you." You don't have to apologize for what you sell. You don't have to apologize for what you can bring to them. You don't have to apologize if you're going to offer them something. Why? If you believe in what you do, don't apologize. Your time as a closer is as valuable as the prospects. Just because they give you money, just because they will do business with you, doesn't mean your time is not valuable. People only buy from you because your product or service can help them solve a problem. That's it, right? It's an exchange of value and money. You're not begging. You don't need to apologize for anything. 4. I'm just following up. Now, as a salesperson, have you ever used this before? Are you guilty of using these words? Say it shamelessly in the comments. The word follow-up has a deep problem. Think about it. The word follow-up has been used for so long by so many salespeople that it automatically triggers a response of, "Oh, you're trying to sell me something." That's the problem. 5. Buying people love to buy, but they hate being sold to. And it's that, although we unconsciously like shopping, hearing the word implies spending money. Something we like a little less. So yes, we love the action. Even if we don't know it, we like the act of buying. But the word itself triggers thoughts that are uncomfortable for the buyer because it will make them think about how much they should spend. So what should you say instead? Good. Use words or phrases like own or take this home with you. This simple change of words will make the buyer feel a sense of power and belonging that will surely make you win that sale. 6. Contract. Now, when I say the word contract, what comes to mind? I think something like, "Oh my God, I'm signing a contract." It's a 20-page document. I'm signing my life away. And it's that it feels too serious, it's too heavy. So instead of saying, "Are you ready to sign this contract with me?" change that word to agreement. It feels less intimidating. It feels less pressure in your words. What does that mean? It means the same thing. You're signing the contract. You're signing the agreement. But when you say it, you take the paperwork out of the way, you take the formality out of it, and you make the process a little more enjoyable. 7. I haven't heard from you. This phrase may sound so normal at first glance, and many people use it. But the thing is, when you ask that question, your prospect knows why you haven't heard from him or her. Because they don't want you to contact them, or they don't want to contact you. They already know that. So if you contact a customer and say something like this, it automatically creates resistance between you and the prospect. So don't use that word. When you contact your prospect, especially those who have not become buyers in the past, don't make them feel guilty. Don't embarrass them. Instead, add value to what they do and offer something new that will make them rethink that purchase. 8. Individual. Is the word individual a very cold, institutional word? Yes, it is. Things like, I know you are a busy individual. I know you are a very successful individual. Create a barrier between you and the buyer. You don't talk like that to your friends, and believe me, it will serve you well to be friends with your buyer. That's not the way you talk to the people you care about, is it? It's an institutional word. It's a very cold phrase. Don't use it. Use more informal, more conversational words to create a closeness with your client. 9. The last words you want to avoid in a sale are things like, we are the best option, we are better than our competitor, we are better than company ABC, or we are better than him, her. Never disparage your competitor. Perhaps it is true, you offer a better service or a better product. But instead of saying it, you must demonstrate it without having to talk bad about anyone. In addition, like other words on this list, it is such a trite phrase that the customer will think that you are obviously saying that because you want to close the sale. But the reality is that they will not believe you unless you show them. You must make your prospect come to their own conclusions that it is true. So never disparage the competitor. In fact, you can occasionally praise the competition. For example, when someone says to you, what makes you better than competitor ABC? Always answer things like, well, ABC, they are good people. Have you ever talked to them? And do you like them? So what's stopping you from going with them? And it is that, although it sounds risky, there is a reason why the prospect is on the phone with you, since even at this point, they have not yet made a decision. That's why they're on the phone with you. Otherwise, they would have already gone with them. So you don't need to disparage your competitors. Your prospect is thinking, all you need to do is show that you understand their problems and that you can solve their problems better than any of your competitors. And well, friends, it is time to enhance your skills and secure those sales that you crave so much. Remember, a prepared salesperson is a guarantee of success in closing, but it doesn't end here. If you want to take your skills to the next level, don't forget to like and subscribe.